Hello, everybody. I'm here for my midweek check-in with all of you. I got a lot to talk about with so much stuff is going on. I'm finally starting to feel consistently better. So Mrs. Winchester and I are discussing getting back to a recording schedule of some sort. So hopefully we will finally get the Forgotten Cosmic Egg narrated for you guys. And then we'll try and work out how to get the podcast back on track. That one is still kind of under construction, just because I do have one of those as a collaborative effort, and I haven't really gotten a lot from the people I'm hoping to collaborate with. We're all going through a lot, so yay, construction things are still up. So Ramblings is not really back on track just yet. I've been debating bringing it back without the Demiurge Conclave for now. But again, that's why it's under construction. In other news, though, I do still have a book that came out, which, with me being sick on and off since May, I have not gotten any promoting done. So if anyone is interested in checking out my first sequel novel, Nature Calls Summer did officially launch on July 13th. You can get it at your typical retail online stores. From what I understand, I've sadly never seen my books in a physical location. But I was told that if they ever got in demand, that could become a possibility. It's really up to the retailer. Basically, if it doesn't perform really well right out the gate, it doesn't get sent physically somewhere. But you can buy physically, unless you're going to Barnes and Noble, where both my books are only ebooks because they didn't have enough people ordering them. But it is what it is. I did also want to bring up Bookshop. I believe it's bookshop.org. If you go to my new page, which is Realms of the Imagining Universe, I believe I called it Realms of Imagining. I made these specifically so that you could find where to just find the stories themselves. People probably noticed a lot of stuff popping up I think it was a few days back. I was filling in for the different realms because I realized I had more than I thought of. So, if you go to imaginingsuniverse.substack.com, you will find a publication where it shows every realm has its own section at the top. 3 Melodies is where you will find everything that is related to Nature Calls, including a post that says Nature Calls, Summer is Here. I believe I also have it pinned on the homepage, along with my Artemis one. Those actually show where you can purchase the books. In both of those, I have a link to a place called bookshop.org. Again, I believe it's .org, which is a platform that connects readers with independent bookstores, where they can buy books from independent bookstores. So if you're not big on supporting the big companies, then I highly recommend you check them out. My books are listed there. So if you're interested, click on the link, because they have links they go straight to the book where you can buy them. Obviously, at the top of the page, you have Feywild Apothecary, where all of those books are signed when you get them purchased, because they come straight from the Feywild, where Jay tends to frequent. But yeah, so if you want to buy directly from us, Feywild Apothecary, all those books, I sign those regardless. That's my thank you for supporting us personally. So if you want to buy them direct, we've got copies to sell because obviously the event didn't go the way we hoped. So I have plenty more books than I had anticipated. And speaking of which, I haven't really had, well, let's be honest, I didn't really have anybody tagging me so that I could really acknowledge anyone for my bundled raffle, which I mentioned in my newsletter back in May. Um, I was bundling a summer and spring bundle raffle for people who shared uh, posts trying to help promote nature calls. Um, I didn't really get tagged in any social stuff. Um, so I already know that I know Bradley Ramsey and Mina Howell both were helping me out with their podcasts and stuff like that. But other than that, I didn't really have anything. And I mean, I get it. I didn't really have a chance to circulate stuff because I'm laying in bed dying all of May and I've had brain fog and I tried remembering to post, but if I'm being completely honest, I loathe social media. I don't want to be on it. I don't like to surf it. I just don't. It's draining. And I would much rather be writing. I think it's one of the reasons why I've enjoyed being on Substack as much as I have, because it doesn't feel like social media, or at least it hadn't been feeling like social media until recently. Looking at you, Substack CEO. I enjoy just checking out creatives and what they have to offer. It's been really refreshing. That's one of the only reasons I will look at the feed and like what people do. From photography to macrame art to sewing projects. I love it all. So technically, I still have 3 bundles that I'm raffling off of spring and summer from Nature Calls for people who are spreading the word, whether that's the graphics that I made on my coffee page, or people make their own post. As long as I'm being tagged, and it's like showing something that draws people's attention specifically to the book, yeah, I'll count it. Because I really need help promoting this book. I have been down for the count until very recently. I'm starting to feel like I'm bouncing back. Finally. My voice is starting to come back too. So, again, get back on track. With more than just that, Hearth of a Writer is going to be making its comeback probably before Ramblings, which is kind of weird to me. And I'm also debating if I want to narrate my newest endeavor, which is Milk Creek Village. I'm really enjoying my first weekend, and I'm already like hooked. I love it. I haven't done something this collaborative since I used to online roleplay. But it was more of like a fandom thing. Like people would play as characters that they liked from their favorite shows, books, movies, comics even. And you could be like interacting with other characters from other fandoms, other media, and you had to like apply and prove that you knew the character to play them and everything. Like it was a whole time. And I did that for years. That was during one of my writing lulls. Because I missed writing, but I hit a wall. And to be perfectly honest, part of it was that I finished writing the last spiral notebook of Eclipse, and I kind of was just staring into the abyss like, well, what now? I did not immediately start typing it up. Like, um, it was kind of sad too because here I am. I finally finished my first book, and there was no spark. There was no excitement. I felt like I was in an empty echo chamber. Nobody really cared that I was a writer back then either, so it kind of didn't go anywhere for a little while. Um, Ultimately, I ended up walking away after playing several different characters that people loved. Um, I walked away from it because I realized it took up all my free time and it actually affected my long term relationship with my now wife. We were not married at the time. We were engaged, but it was kind of rocky because I didn't. She was kind of like, "Hi, I'm right here," and I'm like, "Uh huh." Very distracting. So, yeah, that it was kind of hard to walk away from all the friends that I'd made there, but it was a choice that I had to make for what did I want to do. Like, did I want to keep playing someone else's character, or did I want to write stories that people would want to play them? And I made my choice. And then soon after that, Thicker Than Blood kicked off. So, revival sagas. Uh, yeah, I'm really excited to be in Mill Creek now. The family of the Forsyths has made quite the impression. Um, I initially just wrote like a move-in short because these are not long and like shorts. They're like 1,500 words, which is another reason why I'm doing it because I'm trying to help get my brain juices going. Because admittedly, I do have writer's burnout. Um, I'm definitely suffering from burnout in general, but writer's burnout. Um, I need to get the wheels moving so I can work on actual books. The Little Misadventures are great to write, but some of them I can't progress until I finish some of the books. Like a lot of the Deca shorts, I can't keep doing anything until I finish one of the current book needs to at least get done. Because at that point I'll start putting spoilers into the shorts, and I don't want to do that. Because the whole point of the shorts is you're supposed to be appreciating the books as they happen simultaneously. So, I want to be able to actually let everything trickle down evenly. So my brain just kind of has been like, close the book on that one, close the book on that one, close the book on that one. And then like the Nature Calls ones, I I think the books just want me to write them. Like I thought I could write shorts in between, but I think the books want to be written first so that people can appreciate the shorts better. I think that might be what's going on. I loved writing the origins. Those were so fun. Moving Day was moving for sure. It was great to actually flesh out this moment that bridges the two books, at least for one of the characters' arcs. And maybe, who knows, maybe if I get more feedback coming on from Summer once it's kicking off more, maybe another short will decide it wants to be written. That'd be nice. Um, but for now, yeah, a lot of the shorts are just kind of at a standstill. And so I gotta write me some actual books, y'all. Um, Heck, Mina Howell and Bradley Ramsey talking about how they're actually trying to work on their stuff. Maybe I need to do that too. Maybe I need to be held accountable. Um, Now I do know the two books that I'm supposed to be working on. One is Poseidon of the Dodecatheon, which people have been waiting for since Artemis, my debut novel, came out. Not that I was ready, but it came out anyway. Um, the outline is pretty much mostly done. I just need to do some additional tiny world building holes, and then I can keep progressing with it. Because I tried just going through it like I did with Artemis, but then I realized I had a lot more planning that went into Artemis. So gotta do a little bit more planning, and then Poseidon should probably take off the way Artemis did. And then Autumn, I need some straight up feedback. I need to see what readers think of Summer, which brings me back to what I was originally talking about. So yeah, I need help circulating Summer. I need people to talk it up. I need people to be excited about it. I already know, based on how slow the launch has been, it's going to fall down into the same pit the last two books have. It gets kind of forgotten on Amazon, and it will probably be reduced to an ebook on Barnes & Noble as soon as they run out of all the physical books that were sent by my publisher. So that leaves me down to other places that they just, order them. I know eBay. That still blows my brain that my books are on eBay. Because there are booksellers who sell on eBay that I learned about. But yeah, I need to get Summer moving so that I can get some feedback before I can officially start approaching a revisiting of Autumn. Because technically, I wrote the draft. The first draft of Autumn is done, but I feel it is still a draft. I do not feel it is a manuscript, like a fully done one. I feel like it needs work still, because that one felt so rushed. Which is wild, because I wrote Summer in 7 weeks, and it doesn't feel rushed. But Autumn does, and that one took me like 5 months. I know. But yeah, so I need help on that front. So if you guys want to help, I mean, even if you haven't read it, like I said, I have graphics that I've made that are over on my Ko-fi page. I know some people call it Ko-fi. I always call it coffee because buy me a cup of coffee. Yeah, my digital promo folder has graphics of the book that you can just share, even if you're just saying like, hey, support this author, new book just came out. Any support I get to draw readers to it, I greatly appreciate it. Because I need to start talking about it again. Gotta get this moving forward, because Autumn is kind of at a standstill until I get some feedback on that, which I'm really grateful for Mina, who did give me some nice things that she said about Summer that made me smile. So yeah, I back to square one. I know there are people that have reached out to me that are like, hey, yeah, I'll review your book for money, and I'm like, well, guess what? I ain't got money to pay you for a review, and honestly, a paid review feels kind of like shilling to me. Like, I don't feel like it's genuine. So I would much rather people buy the book and give their honest opinion, because I'm not afraid of feedback, guys. I'm really not. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, help me on that front. I appreciate all the help from there. And then of course, for my free subscribers, wow, I think I'm almost at 110 subscribers, almost. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Again, I want to remind all of you, my thank you for all these new free subscribers is that all free subscribers every Tuesday, which you probably saw it yesterday, you guys get a early release of the next chapter of Legacy of the Solar Order, because I am migrating that book off of Inkitt. It has now been reduced to a teaser. Everything that is on Substack now is now the teaser that is over on Inkitt. You guys will now start getting the rest of the book over here for the next weeks as we go through the whole book. Again, because this one is not on Hearth of a Writer, and it's a revival saga at that, I'm not going to be narrating these. Just one, I want you guys to have a taste for what my writing is. I've noticed that on the app, the app has the voice narrator for it. It's not the best translation, but it's not bad either. So if you really are concerned about not being able to read through it, there is a listen function on the app. So feel free to check that one out. Again, I'm all for accessibility. Definitely believe in that. But yeah, as of Sunday, chapter 2 dropped, but yesterday, free subscribers got chapter 3. So every Tuesday, your inbox will get a notification that has the next chapter. It's just for you guys, and then Sunday, everybody else gets it. That's a good amount of time to be sitting on a chapter, right? Like, so and even if you're behind, like, oh yeah, Sunday everything dropped, you remember to read the chapter, but then Tuesday you get another one. Just saying. Mind you, this is the longest book I've ever written. Because originally this was not supposed to be a book. Originally, Legacy of the Solar Order was supposed to be, honestly, it was just called The Solar Order. Back when I was first coming up with it at the Art Institute, because I was trying to come up with a script idea, because we were supposed to come up with new ones, and I told my teachers, why do you hate me so much? I already have enough stories in my head. So yeah, the Lunar Knight was born at the Art Institute, and I fleshed him out from there, along with his fellow knights and their adventures chasing the black mist of chaos. Yeah, I have a big soft spot for Legacy of the Solar Order. I would still love to see this become a cartoon show. And when I say I want this to be a cartoon show, I'm not talking about these these seasons that only have like 5 episodes. No, I'm bringing back the OG. You had a full season. Like, the show, like, the year it came out was a season. Like, you guys got to see like a whole season of episodes. Like, I want to bring that back. Now, whether I'm following the American format or I'm following the anime one, because I know some people are used to the 12 episode anime. I remember when seasons had between 25 to 50 episodes. I remember those animes. And I'm kind of leaning toward that, because the series, each volume takes place over the course of a year, like a school year. So there's lots that goes into it. This is a 50 chapter book, guys. You're getting 50 weeks of chapters. Have fun. And thank you for supporting me. I really could not think of a better way to thank you guys than to actually let you guys read an actual book I've written. And I'm grateful that Bradley Ramsey actually picked it as one of his shout out ones. And I was like, I wasn't sure what he was going to read from it. And when where he stopped off when he got to Matt's dad's, I was like, oh, that's the perfect spot to stop. Yeah, Matthew Bennett has 2 dads. I was like, oh, heck yeah, that's a great way to stop off on. So if you want to see one of perhaps my most diversified cast, definitely check out Legacy of the Solar Order Volume 1. I do have one that is a chapter list, which I basically am compiling a table of contents. So if you guys want to see how much is out, when is the next one going to be available, this, mind you, will be following the public available ones. So people who are not subscribed being able to see it. Followers will be able to see it. Things like that. It's following that schedule. Just know that if you're a free subscriber, you get it the next chapter the following Tuesday. Obviously, I update that table of contents when the Tuesday one drops. So, like right now, I think it's August 2nd. is when everybody else will get chapter 3. So you see, it'll follow through like that. And all you'll have to do is click the link and it'll take you to the chapter. So, yay! I'm really excited for what you guys think of this one. I got some interesting feedback from it on Inkit. It was compared to Percy Jackson at one point, which I was like, heck yeah. Because it is a Greek myth adventure. One of the things that I had criticized about Sailor Moon as a kid, yes, I was the buzzkill kid when it came to things like this. I didn't like Sailor Moon for 2 reasons. One, Sailor Moon annoys the piss out of me. Actual Usagi annoys me to hell. And her daughter to boot. I don't like them. I never liked them. As a little kid, I didn't like them, which was hysterical because my Japanese grandma was laughing so hard that she never met a kid who didn't like them. I was like, why is she throwing a temper tantrum and winning? Like, that's not how you win a fight. Yes, because it was on the air when I lived in Japan. Yeah, I got to see the OG Japanese on the air. Yeah. But the other reason was when I finally found out that it was loosely based on my favorite Greek myth, which is Selene and Endymion. I got even more pissed because honestly, I'm like, wow, way to take a giant dump on my favorite myth and completely misrepresent it. That's not how Selene and Endymion are at all. Now, granted, I'm older and I know what myth that the manga was pulling from. It still misrepresented it, and it annoyed me. And when I brought this up to my colleagues and friends that I was making at the Art Institute, they basically were like, how dare you speak blasphemy against Sailor Moon as if you could do better. And I went, who says I can't? Because I actually know Greek mythology very, very intimately. It is my faith, you know? So they challenged me to come up with, they're like, well, show me you can do better. So I did I think I've mentioned this story before. I wrote up a character profile called for a character, the central character of the Lunar Knight, and then I showed it to them, and everyone was impressed, and they wanted me to flesh it out. And they're like, "Well, there's your show. Cooley will leave you alone now." And I was like, "I wasn't that serious, because now I feel like I am committing blasphemy." Now, mind you, this was, oh dear God, over a decade ago. I have done some humbling maturity in that time. And because of that, I now appreciate even shows that I don't care for. Like, I was not a Harry Potter fan. Not because my mother was anti-Harry Potter and wouldn't let me read the books. I couldn't read the books. They drove me crazy. The formatting, I think my brain was not wired for it. I was ahead of the curve. So I struggled to get through the first chapter, and it frustrated me so bad. I'd never gotten that frustrated reading a book before. I was not I'm not a fan of Percy Jackson. For obvious reasons. If I didn't like Sailor Moon, and cough cough, didn't like Hercules, Disney, why do you think I didn't like Percy Jackson? We're going to leave it there. I have learned to let people have what they like. I have learned this. If it's not bothering me that you're happy, like I can't be bothered that somebody is happy with something. That is my lesson that I'm learning the hard way. If it makes people happy and it's not actually doing harm, let them have it. And even if it's driving me crazy, let them have it. That's where I've gotten to. So yeah. Me writing Legacy of the Solar Order was my love letter to Greek mythology, because Dodecatheon is far more serious and grounded in not just the mythology, but the culture behind it and the history of how this has survived. Like that, it's way more serious. Whereas Solar Order is this adventure that I want people to be able to feel like they're a part of a Greek myth. Like they can immerse and be like, wow, this is a myth that feels like it's happening today. Like I wanted to give that kind of realism. I don't know if it's fantasy realism or magical realism or whatever, but like I want myth to feel like it can exist. Like I want it to feel alive. I don't want people to look at mythology and go, "Oh, it's just stories." And I'm like, this is real to people. Like I as an omniist, I have to always remind people you can't dismiss mythology as just stories. That's like people who dismiss the Bible as just a storybook. How much rage comes out from that? That's how we feel when people tell us our mythologies are just stories, because they're not to us. But also, you have to remember that, unlike people who are reading the Bible, when we read mythology, we understand that this is a message being sent to us that we need to wrap our heads around. They're trying to communicate something to us with story. And oftentimes it was meant to explain something that someone asked for understanding on, and they were given this story to tell people so that they could understand said question. Now, granted, we've actually discovered some myths actually have some historical relevance, and I think that's cool. It's one of the reasons why I'm as passionate as I am about when I write mythology. I look at what was happening with the culture at the time. How were they viewing the world? So yeah, I hope you guys are excited to see Legacy of the Solar Order Volume 1 unfold. Again, if you feel like subscribing, you'll get those email drops every Tuesday. You'll get to read it early. But yeah, I'm really excited about everything that's been going on, that's happening. And I realized I've gone on really long with this video, but I'm starting to feel back to me again, and I'm really happy about that. And I want a big thank you to Mary Ellen Brady and to Mina Howell for all the Penny Dreadful podcast episodes that I was like addicted to listening to Mill Creek, and I finally am able to join you guys. And I'm really looking forward to the collaboration with the Forsyth family. There is a section on my publication if you want to follow what's going on with those people. I already have 2 posts up, and I'm currently working on the next 1 or possibly 2 for this week. So until next time, I'm going to get off this video, but you're going to go check out those new things that I've been talking about, right? In the meantime, though, be kind to yourself and to others, as we are all traversing the same path in life, just different vehicles. Some of us are in brand new cars that have been set up for us, and we're got a great start. Others are in old clunkers that are probably on the side of the road, get with a tire change, or they need gas before they can get started again. Either way, don't judge somebody on how far along they are in their journey, because you never know why they're there. There could be a reason that they need to pause, which I've learned, because I was paused. And then, of course, if we reap what we sow, and we sow good fruits, you have to nurture said good fruits. They will grow into fruits you can share with people. So if you are cultivating kindness, compassion, empathy, those things are things you can share with people. So if you work on those within yourself, those are gifts you can also give in kind. So keep that in mind. It's not just you reap what you sow is a bad thing. It can be a good thing too. And as always, happy reading and listening adventures.